Hey, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel named Learning to Learn. So, this is the channel you're watching right now. You can subscribe to this channel to get more updates. Apart from that, you can follow me on LinkedIn. This is my profile. You can follow me with the name Aditi Arya, as well as I'm on Twitter. This is my Unacademy profile. You can follow me on Unacademy with the name Aditi Vinod Arya, and I teach for NTA UGC NET category. There are a lot of special classes going on, so you can avail the benefit by downloading Unacademy app. Apart from that, you can also follow the Facebook page called Learning to Learn to get the latest updates, as well as the Instagram, so that you're updated. Apart from this, if you're not on Unacademy, this is what you're missing. We had a complete course on human resource management starting from today, that is on 20 June. We had our first class at 5 p.m. So you missed it, and this would be for 10 days from 20 June to 30 June. Apart from this, these are the regular classes which I'm taking every day. All these classes will be till the end of June. So it's at 9:05, 9:40 and 10:15. Make sure you do join these particular special classes free of cost and avail the benefit. As well as if you want to join the plus classes, you can do one thing. You can use Aditi Live referral code. I'll just show it to you. This is the referral code to get 10% off on Unacademy subscription. So let's start with today's topic.
So this was the last point where we left. We were doing classification of organization theories, and I told you that there are three classifications of organization theory. The first one was the classical theory, the second one was neoclassical theory, and the third one was modern theory. Now we are trying to understand it one by one. Let's start with classical theory for today. Classical theory, as you can see, the page number I'm reading right now is page number 20. You can see on the top. I'll just explain you the entire thing, and I'll just read out the entire page so it becomes easy for you to summarize things and understand. The first thing is about classical theory. Now, what is classical theory? Classical theory, as the name suggests, is one of the oldest theories in organizational behavior, and it is also known as machine theory and traditional theory. It is not known as traditional theory because it's in a traditional phase. No, it was not like that, but this was the first attempt to understand the subject in a very comprehensive, structured manner. That is why this phase or this theory is known as classical theory. So these three names I have just told you. The first one is classical theory, the second name is traditional theory, the third name is machine theory. Why it is called as a machine theory? Because as the machine has various kind of components, and if the components are put together in a proper manner, then only the machine will work. In the same way, if all the people in the organization are put together in a systematic way, then only the organization will work, or else the organization won't work. So that is why it is named as traditional theory, classical theory, or machine theory. Moving forward, what is this classical theory about, or what are we going to read? First, classical theory is one of the first attempts to understand the subject or to explain the subject in a very simple or structured manner first. Second, the main people who were involved in this theory were F.W. Taylor sir, Henry Fayol sir, and Max Weber. F.W. Taylor is considered as the father of scientific management because he gave scientific principles of management. Henry Fayol is considered as the father of principles of management because he has given 14 principles of management, which are very basic and even studied in today's 11th 12th standard and first year graduation courses of BCom and BBA. Now, Max Weber was one of the main prominents in this particular theory. He believed that there was a kind of dissatisfaction among certain soldiers, and he wanted to study that why there exists a kind of dissatisfaction. For this, he started this particular theory that we need to understand that what is going on right now, or what is exactly going on. We need to we need to get a proper understanding of this. For this, this was the reason to start the classical theory. Apart from that, there are three basic characteristics of this particular theory. We will be moving further and further, but still the basic three features or the characteristics of this theory are: the first, it deals with human element, of course, so it deals with formal relationships. At that time, in the 19th century, many organizations were very interested in formal relationships rather than informal relationships. But if you see right now, the trend has taken a change or a shift, because many organizations right now take, you can say, want to have an informal relationship with their clients, even with their employees, so that they can understand the employee better, and they'll be able to retain the talented people into the company for a longer period of time if they are able to understand what the employee wants. But that was not the case in the classical theory. Classical theory, it was highly believed that there should be only formal relationship, no informal relationship first. Second, there should be proper division of work, means every person in the organization should have something or the other to do, and whatever work is to be done is to be divided among all the employees in a systematic manner. The third one was, every day there should be a plan, or there should be a strategy or a schedule of what is to be done and when is to be done and who is going to do it. So these were the basic characteristics of this particular theory. I have given you all the crux points, and just I'm going to read it out loud so that you can see the PDF in the background. You can read it and you can understand what we have done so far. Okay, so the classical theory, I'm reading from the first line. Classical theory of organization. The classical theory of organization was developed in 19th century, which was the first step for the systematic study of the organization. I'm really sorry, the handwriting is not so good because I made this in 2009 and I was very immature at that time, and I never realized that I'm going to use this notes to teach a lot of people, so I'm really sorry about the handwriting. Let's continue. Prior to this, no such kind of studies took place, so it is known as the first theory in the study of organization. This theory is known as traditional theory. Moving forward. Okay, sorry for this. I'm reading from here. This theory is known as traditional theory not because it is traditional by nature, but theory developed in the 19th century which paved the base for other theoretical development of the organization. This theory was developed by Max Weber, Henry Fayol, F.W. Taylor. Max Weber developed this theory as a result of dissatisfaction among the soldiers of the military organization in the 19th century. Max Weber tried to find out the causes of the Max Weber tried to find out the cause of these dissatisfaction prevailed in the military organization. This theory was first developed because of military dissatisfaction, and after that it was seen that many business organization and industrial units are also not working properly. This theory is based on the structural functioning of the organization. This theory is also known as the machine theory. This theory considers organization as a formal unit in form of a machine which has many components in form of its employees. This theory says that employees of the organization are the economic persons whose biggest motivation is, of course, economic, in form of money. This theory is totally based upon the notion that organizations can be effective if the components, the employees, work effectively. On this basis, they have introduced three basic characteristics for this particular theory. The PDF I'm reading is downstairs, not downstairs, but it's down to the camera, so I might be reading it like this. The basic characteristics are division of power and high specialization, existence of functional relationship between employees rather than informal relationship, and to fix the work carried out by each employee each day. Because of the above mentioned characteristics, this theory is also known as machine theory, as it believes rigorous working of employees. So this was the classical theory. This is actually a mere introduction to the classical theory. So I hope you have understood this class in a very simple and easy manner. In the next class when we meet, I would be introducing you to more number of topics, and sorry for the delay. I would be uploading like very, you can say, frequently now. So be ready for a lot number of classes and be ready for your examinations. If you still have any problems or issues, please do let me know. If you want to support this channel, if you want to support me or the channel, just you can like this video, you can share it with your friends so that they come to know that this content is available in a very simple language and they can understand it. Apart from that, you can comment and tell us did you like the video or not, or if there are any changes which is required. Thank you so much for your support. It was lovely having a lecture with you guys. Take good care of yourselves. Study hard. Bye everyone.